Good afternoon, team. Happy Friday. Happy Easter weekend. I hope you guys are enjoying this day off in the market and refreshing your batteries and putting in the work setting charts. I am going to do my best to not make this video too long, but there's a lot to cover. I have a lot of stocks that I want to go over in two different segments. One, trades that I currently have on at the moment, my positions, trades that I've put on this week, and rationale behind some of them, and then just to go over the charts in each one, so you can use it also as a learning experience on what to look for and how the charts look like that are working right now. And then the second segment, I'm going to go through plenty of stocks that are setting up from the other. I did a very comprehensive scan today. It took me about 3 hours to go through about 1,000 stocks. I went through my most comprehensive scans that I've done in a while because I really wanted to basically throw a larger net out there to capture a lot more stocks that in case we start a rotation out of what's working right now, which is energy, oil, and commodities, into other sectors. I already have them in my scope to start looking for potential setups coming out of basis and getting set up. And if not, it's fine. But at least, I wanted to put in a little extra work this long weekend and the market was closed, and I want to take advantage and just cast a larger net out there. I probably do that once every 3 or 4 months just to kind of see if there's any quarterly rotation and so forth. Normally, I just do my regular, 300 to 500 charts that I go through, and my regular scan. So again, it's going to be a little bit more comprehensive as far as stocks, but every single one that I'm going to go through, that I'm going to show you and give you a target price as an entry pivot, these all have nice potential setups out of nice, low risk, high reward scenarios. So again, just use it as a learning experience as far as educational this weekend, to go over a lot of charts that you should be looking for, and what and how a chart is supposed to look like when it works, both from what I currently have and what I've traded to the perspective and potential of setups coming forward on the second on the latter part of the video. Also, a little disclaimer. There's a lot of these stocks that I'm going to give you on the latter part that are setups that are going to be, bunched up in the same industry, because in the same sector, because that's what's working, obviously. So let's say oil stocks, okay? I might give you like 15 or 20 oil stocks. If they all hit, don't buy 20 oil stocks in your portfolio. Buy 3 or 4 at the most. If you have 10, if your max holding is 10 to 12 stocks for my portfolio, that's kind of what I like to stay at. I'm not going to have 5 or 6 on the same industry. I might have 2 or 3, maybe 4 if it's like a really strong sector. So don't overdo it in one particular sector or one particular industry. But again, this is what's working. So what I'm going to give you, again, is the same setups that I'm going to give you for the week. Whenever they do hit, put your alerts on, and whenever they do hit, that setup is active, and then you can take that trade if it comes in with enough volume and the market is we have the wind in our back. Okay, so just that's kind of the outline. As we always start off, here's the market overall. I wanted to show you this little box that I drew, kind of noticed on the S&P from the recent lows back in February and early March. We kind of hit this this low here, and this new recent high. We had this nice beautiful rally here from this high. If you draw a little square from here, we have basically retraced, to the penny almost, 50% retracement. So we gave half back of this high back in mid-March from the low back in beginning of March, ending of February. So we're basically halfway back to where we're at. So everything that we gained here, we gave it all back halfway through it. So what does this mean? We're in the middle of the road. I see it. I mean, we're below the 200, and we just kind of lost a 50 here. So probability wise, this is a higher probability that we can go lower. If we kind of come back to the quarter level here, this lower here, it's definitely in play. If we break out, if you notice right here, this quarter scenario, it's kind of like these little tops right here. If we break out of here, then we can continue testing this, and if we clear it, then we go back in the uptrend. But normally when you have almost one here, 2, 3, you got 4 touches on the same spot right here. This is going to get pretty weak. When you start, just like here, you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You came down, and the very next time you hit it, you go through it. So can we maybe come up a little bit, and then when we come back down again, is when we hit it? I don't know. But again, probabilities is we go lower, we go a little bit lower or much lower before we go to all-time highs. We might go a little bit higher from here, but I don't think we come back to these highs anytime soon. We have earnings season coming up, so that could be a catalyst to take us up a little higher, maybe up to this level, and hopefully we can get back up to this level. But again, probabilities. So the market is choppy, back and forth. What's working? Leading stocks. You can never go wrong. You can never go wrong buying leading stocks in leading sectors, coming out of good setups and a good entry point and a nice pivot. You can't go wrong with it. You put money in a career doing that. So that's what we're doing. We're looking for what's working. And what's working right now, it's energy. What's not working is tech. So don't buy tech, and buy energy. Simple, right? Okay. The Qs, same thing. We kind of lost at 50 a little while ago. We're in this little range here. This last week, we've been in the same little square range here. But overall, I'll show you in the 50-minute where I like to look at. We're trading lower. We're trading lower. We could, if I draw this little box right here, like I did on the S&P, this box looks a little bit worse because we're definitely lower than the 50%. But let me clean this up. If we kind of do the same scenario here, when we look at the same apples on apples as the S&P, and we go halfway, which is about right here, we're lower. We're lower than halfway. So we're already broke that 50% retracement. We're definitely we're definitely on the lower side. And then, on this 15-minute channel, guys, here it is. How much perfect of a parallel line is that on a downtrend channel, and how much perfect that than halfway on the channel we're at. We're basically halfway on this channel, hitting our head here. So we're in the middle of a downtrend, and that's the way it looks on the daily. We're in the middle of a downtrend. Now we still have we still have a little this gap got filled here. We still have this one over here that needs to get filled. This little area there, and then obviously we have this little bigger one here that hasn't gotten filled yet. So we have this to get through. Let me see here. Yeah, again, every channel that I kind of try to draw here, it's downtrending. This right here, it's kind of like we broke down from this top low here, and we're kind of hitting this lower low. So if you look at it this way, also, we've gone sideways this last week on a within downtrending channel. Okay, I'm trying to show you the same thing in different ways, but basically the market's going down. Okay, that's as far as I can tell you. Okay, so stocks. This is now the segment of what trades that I have on, positions that I'm holding, and or trades that I've made, and then so you can go through all these charts. Okay, Nvidia. Here's my thing on Nvidia. To me, Nvidia, it's kind of like, okay, think of it this way. You guys know real estate. Okay, real estate is it's a long-term play. Real estate is not something you could just buy and unless you flip houses. But if you want to build a real estate portfolio as far as rental properties, you buy a property, and hopefully in a nice neighborhood that eventually over time is going to appreciate in value, and then you rent it and you generate monthly income with the rent, right? Well, that's kind of my process on Nvidia, Zim, and Mara, SMH, and a few others. But basically, I'm just going to focus on Zim and Nvidia. So those are the two that I have a little drawdown on. Every other one, it's working beautifully. I mean, it's doing fine. But I want to give you the negative first and then go through the positive later. So Nvidia, yes, I'm down. I have a 220. I have a 220 strike, and it's at 212. So I'm 8 points down on 6 contracts. But I have received close to 5 points in credits. So that means my 220, it's really about 215 cost basis. So I'm really down 3 points. That's not a big deal on this, this stock. So really, yes, technically I'm down, but it doesn't bother me, concern me at all. Again, Nvidia shows a lot of growth. Even, I mean, the projection is even higher. Incredible numbers. Again, Nvidia, they're in everything, not just semiconductors, but they're in AI. They're in everything that you could possibly think of. So again, I could be 1,000% wrong, and this can go to like 50 in a year. I don't know that, but the probabilities of that are Nvidia holding up relatively strong over time. It's greater in my humble opinion. So I sell puts on it, and then if I get assigned the shares, what I do is I collect premium and sell covered calls against it. And it's basically like having a rental property. I own this property, right? Even though it might be depreciating in value in the short term, in the long term, if you look at a monthly long term, when this first started back in '99, it was what, like, split adjusted about 50 cents. Let's say $1 here, because again, this used to be like, in $1,000, and it got split adjusted. So split adjusted $1, and you got 200 over a decade. So again, if you're thinking of holding something long term, and then collecting premium on it and collecting rent, this is what I'm doing with Nvidia. So I sell every 2 weeks. I sell about 2% to 3% gain on my position. So eventually, over time, let's say Nvidia goes nowhere and it stays in the 210, 220 area. Eventually, I'm going to have like a 180, 170 cost because I keep getting $3 or $4 every 2 weeks of rental income, basically. So I'm getting about $7 to $10 a month in rental income. In 3 months, that's 30 points. So that'll be 170 if it doesn't do anything. If it keeps going lower, then okay, well, I just I keep doing the same thing basically. And if it keeps going higher, well, then I just keep selling. Same thing, you just keep selling on it. That's basically my thought process on Nvidia. Okay, the same thing with Zim. Zim, I have the 60, right? So yes, I'm 5 points. I'm 5 points down. I've received about 225, 230 so far. So let's say I have a 57 cost basis. I'm still a little down, but again, look at the numbers for next year. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, look at this growth. Let me see the long term here. Well, I mean, obviously the long term, below 10 to like 80. This thing has just been rocketing since it became public. The weekly chart, So again, same kind of concept. I'm buying into a solid company that I believe will have an upside potential over the long term, and in the short term, I go through these little drawdowns. I just keep selling premium every 2 weeks. I collect, $1.50, $1.25, $1.35, $1.50, so forth. So $3 to $5 every month. In a couple of years, I could have a zero cost basis. I own, 1,600 shares at, $10, and it's set, it's at 60. That's not a bad place to be. So that's my thought process on this one. Same thing with Mara. Mara is more of a crypto play. Again, I don't understand crypto too much as far as actually buying and trading Bitcoin, but the overall industry of cryptocurrency, Mara is one of the leaders. So if crypto if crypto goes up, Mara is going to participate. So when crypto was rocking, Mara was up here in the 80s, and crypto's been going down from like $60,000 a Bitcoin, from 60 grand to like in the 40s. Well, this also came down. So if crypto goes back up to the 50s, then we're gonna go up against. Again, I'm doing the same thing here. I have the 20 that I sold. I sold the 20, and I just keep selling premium on it, and the same thing, collecting rent. Tremendous growth potential. The numbers just are insane. So that's my thought process on those guys. I have on that I sold premium on as well. I have this one. Okay, so those are the one. Actually, Mara, I'm not on the water because I have a 20. It's a 21. The only two that I'm kind of a little bit on the water is Nvidia and Zim. That's it. Out of all, that's like 5% of my holdings. The other 95%, everything is profitable and doing its thing. So I'm not too uncomfortable. I have the 50. Okay, I have the 50 here. Same kind of concept. I'm just selling premium on these guys and buying my time and collecting rent on these. Okay, so let me go through all the other ones that I have. So this thing Square, I have a 95. That's the other one I have. I have the 95 put that I sold on Square. So same kind of concept. I'm selling premium on this until I let it get bought out for me, and then I'm probably going to generate about 50% profit on this if I let it get taken from me at half of what I received. All right, so on the actual shares that I have, these are trades that I've made this last couple of days that I put on, and I alerted you guys, and they're all pretty much doing its thing. DVN, this one I think I bought it somewhere. I'm kind of like flat on this because I bought it somewhere in this pullback here to the 90 MA. So it's still building a little shelf here. Hasn't really done anything to like get me out. I'm using the 21 to stop me out. So DVN is a nice one. Instead of shelf, if this breaks out, it can go to 70. That's one I have on. What UU. This one, same thing. It broke this trend line right here. I bought it on this day right here, and then it came back right to test that and it's holding. So not doing anything wrong. I'm using the 21 as my stop. SM, I think I bought it on, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I bought it in that day when it broke this trend line right here. Bought it right there. It's still above it, doing good. 21 is my stop. Going forward, every single one that I'm going to mention, they're all profitable. They're all working. I'm up on every single one of them. I wanted to go through the negatives first to show you that even though sometimes you could have a little drawdown, just like the Square case study I did, there's ways to get yourself out of it, or not necessarily get out of it per se. Just okay, you have a little drawdown on the same Nvidia, but again, my thought process is this. To me, it's a rental property. I have it there. Hopefully the neighborhood will get better, with time. The school systems are okay, and I can continue to generate good rental income every month. That's my thought process on those. Okay. So all these going forward now are going to be trades that I've put on, that I have on, that I'm currently holding, and every single one I'm at least minimum 2% up on, and some of them up 6-7% on, and the median is about 3.5 to 5% up. So once I get to 8 or 9% up, I'm going to move my stop all the way up to like 5% lock in, and then ride it to like 10-12% lock in gains, and keep my 10-12% profitability to my 3 to 5% stop loss to keep my 3-to-1 ratio intact, and maintain that asymmetrical profit margin where my losses are between 3 and 5%, and my winners are between 10 and 15%. If you do that for your career, you're going to be very profitable. Just math, guys. Not me saying anything. Just do the math. Even if you're wrong more than half of the time, not wrong, but like if it doesn't work, even more than half of the time, you're still going to be profitable, because if you have a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, so here are the ones that are working. Here's the ones that I have on. Okay, SM, APA. I have APA. I bought it right here in this pullback to the 9. It's doing its thing. It's holding up. LSI. I bought this on this pullback right here to the 9. Again, this little shelf here. So this takes out 154. This can go to 175, and eventually, maybe go to 200. But for right now, I'm writing the 9. I'm going to take 25% off if it breaks the 9, and then the rest if it breaks the 21. That's working. Rada. Same thing. I bought it in this pullback here close to the 9 EMA. It's been working ever since. Again, 21 is my stop. Same thing, guys. I'm doing the same. I'm doing just the one thing. That's all. Just focus on doing one trade strategy and just rinse, wash, and repeat. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Do the same thing for the next 35 years, 40 years of your career, and you're going to be very profitable. What else do I have? CTVA. CTVA. Again, these are all going to be Wednesday, Thursday buys. So that was right here on the 9 EMA pullback, working very nicely. 21 stop. Again, I'm probably going to take 25% off if it breaks the 9, and then the rest let it ride to the 21. CTVA X. X, I bought it right here in this close pullback to a 21. I have this trend line right here. Let me clean this up. If you notice, I have this little trend line drawn here. So if it breaks this trend line, then I'm out. But right now, I'm profitable. GFI. GFI, bought it right here on the 21 kind of shelf right here. My stop is going to be the low this day right there. So it kind of tested it today a little bit. I mean, on Thursday, but it kind of ended up on a high note. So it's still working. I mean, it's a nice little pennant flag here. So again, if it breaks down, it breaks down. I get out. But right now, it's working. GFI, LFG. LFG, again, I bought it right there on this day. When it retook the 9, I went back inside. Nice little shelf. It's above this pivot of 22. It's playing, above the recent breakout. So that's good sign. So you can consolidate, go sideways for a little bit, and then hopefully keep on going higher. MEOH. MEOH, I bought it at the 20 right here. One of these 2 days at 21. When it kind of broke down here and we took it. Now at the 21, it's my friend all the way up. Shell. Same thing. This one I bought a little bit earlier. This one I bought in this retracement here to the 9. When it closed above it and it took it, I got in here. And I've just been riding it ever since. It took this little shelf breakout here, and it's been holding it. So this has been a winner for a while. MR, again, all these I've alerted. So easily you could have taken any of these. MRK again, took it right there when it kind of broke it, but it took the 9 EMA. I went back in. It's above the pivot. It was a little bit extended, but this nice pullback, and it kind of held this 85 range right here. I like that, and it took so my stop was really simple. Below 85, I'm out. If it comes in inside the previous pivot, I was out. So I bought it right here. Let's see what this is. What is my cost basis on shelf? Right at 85.41. I bought it at 85.41. Right when it came back above at the 9, I got in. So what was my stop? It was originally 84.49. So I had a 1-point stop for potential to, let's say, even 90. That's a 1 to 10. I mean, I'm not. Sorry, a 5 to 1. That's a good ratio. Okay, so that one's working. MRK, CALM, CALM, same thing. I bought it right there. I bought it that day right there when it came to a 21. It held it. It did not budge, and I was gonna stop out below that one right there, on this little shelf right here, breakout. When this broke out, if it broke that day, on this day I was gonna stop out. I almost got stopped out, but it never hit it, and it stayed. So I'm up nicely on this one. Again, the 21 is my my stop out, and I have this down trend line here that if it takes out this high, I'm going to be adding a little bit to it. ACM, ACM. ACM, I bought it right there at the 50. Okay, it's holding the 50 real nice on these days. I have my trend line, so if it breaks the 50, that's my stop out. So far it's working. It's about the 75 area where it kind of had this little pivots here, 76. It's fine. Nothing wrong with this. Perfectly fine. Got nice growth projection. 44%, 35% earnings growth. Not too bad. Let's see what else. NFG. NFG, again, you guys see a theme here? I'm buying these pullbacks. Okay, I'm not buying on the way down. Let me clarify. Don't ever, and if I forgot to mention, ever buy on the way down. To buy on a pullback doesn't mean you're buying when it's coming down. You're buying on the pullback when it's coming down, but you're looking at it when it's coming down, when it's pulling back to a particular area, whether it's a 21 or the 50 or a particular prior support level. You're looking at it coming back into it, but your actual buy is when you get confirmation that it has stopped going down and now it's on the way back up again. That's when you buy. Okay, you don't buy here because it can continue to do this. You buy here when you see that you have a clear resistance level of a stop out. You have a risk management. So you have to have risk management. You can't just buy on the way down. Oh, it's a great stock, it's going down, let me buy it here because it has to go up. You have no idea if it's going to go up again. You have to wait till it goes up again. So you're buying on a pullback when you have, like for example, let's say what I do is I look at intraday. So let's say this right here a couple days ago. This was on Thursday, right? On Thursday it was coming down. So when do you buy? Okay, so this is Friday. This is Thursday, and this is Friday. Okay, so when do you buy? It's coming down. It's coming down. It's coming down. It's coming down. Okay, the 21 is being hit. When am I buying? I'm buying here. I'm buying here when I see that this is being taken out, and when this bar's closing, it's taken out. That's where I'm buying. I'm not trying to catch the low, guys. I'm not trying to catch the low. I'm not buying all this drama right here. Let's say it goes down. I would have bought somewhere here. Well, it kept on going down. It kept on going down, and then I would have bought somewhere down here. But then it kept on going down. It kept on going down. And then when it gapped up again, that's when you buy right here. And then you ride this puppy up like it's doing here. Okay? So don't ever buy on the way down. That's not what I mean. When a pullback buy doesn't mean, okay, it's coming down to a 21, let me buy it at 21. No. You buy it when you see it stop going down. Okay? So I stopped going down, I bought, and then boom, it took off. So I'm doing nicely on this one, but that's how you trade a pullback buy. What's my stop? Obviously, below that. I'm taking 25% off if it breaks the 9. Because I want to sell into strength and I want to reduce exposure if it stops behaving the way it's supposed to behave. So this keeps on riding it, and there's no reason for me to sell. If it breaks the 9 EMA, I'm taking 25% off, and then the rest at the 21. Okay. NFT click. This one I have the 45. I have some short puts in this. So this one I have the 45. It's holding above the 50 real nice little shelf here. So it's working perfectly fine. Now, actually, this is a nice trade if it breaks the 55.71 area. If it breaks this little shelf right here, and if you want an earlier cheat entry, if it breaks the 50 on the way up, like 53, 54, this might be a nice little entry as well on the long side. Okay? Hint, hint. VYGR. This one I bought it right there, that day right there. Again, coming back down to the 21, it closed above it, and I got in when I started pulling away from it again, and then the last couple of days it's been going up nicely. So that's working. NUE. This one has been a big winner. About this little breakout right here. This has worked beautifully, guys. I mean, I gave it to you guys right here at 127, and it's at 165. That could have been a beautiful entry right there. And then again, I had this trend line here. That would have been a beautiful entry right here in the 140s. And then this next one right here that I took at 158. So my cost basis on this one is 158, like 20 or something like that. And it's at 165. At 166.10, I took 25% off because I saw it kind of topping off a little bit. So I took 25% off to sell something to strength. Okay, so I took a little bit of profit on that as well, and I alerted that on the chat. So I'm holding it. I'm holding it, and this one actually, if you see the trend line, I'm holding this on the 9 EMA. I'm not even letting it go to the 21. If it breaks the 9 EMA, I'm out. So this has been a nice winner. BKR. I bought this one. I think it was somewhere around here, the 21 retracement. I'm holding the 21. It's doing its thing. Nothing wrong with this. It's got earnings in 5 days. So the day before earnings, I'm probably going to get out. I don't like holding through earnings if I don't have a big enough cushion. So in other words, let's say I would have bought it in this breakout right here. Let's say I would have owned it at 30 or 31. Let's say somewhere in I would have taken it here, and I currently own it right now, and I still have it. In essence, you wish you would have taken profits here somewhere. But let's say I own it at 31 and it's at 37. I might hold it through earnings because I have a big enough cushion that if it gaps down, I'm okay. But I have a 30, I think 34, 35 cost basis. I'm up in the stock, but I don't have enough cushion to withstand a big drop. So I don't like holding it through earnings unless I have like a 15 or 20% cushion on a stock. Okay. TBT. This is basically just an interest rate play. I bought this when it came down to the 9 EMA close here in this little shelf right here. I bought, I think, on this day right here, and then I added when it took out this little shelf right here. So this one was up nicely, almost 5% for the day. It's definitely extended. That's why I bought it when it kind of came down a little bit. And if this does come back down again and it retests the 9, I'm adding to it. Okay. So this was working real nice. HWM. This one I've had for a while. I think I bought this. I think I bought it when it was somewhere in this area here. I think it was right in the 50 area, where I think it was this day right here when it gapped down below it, but then it kind of reclaimed it, because I don't think I've ever been down on the stock. So it's been kind of trending higher. So I bought it somewhere around here. What's my cost basis on this? 34. So I definitely bought it somewhere right here. 31, 32, 33, 34. Yep, I bought it right there when it was kind of coming back up to the 50, and I've held it ever since. So my stop is basically, if it comes back inside 35, I got a free trade, because it's guaranteed win. I'm not taking a loss on this one. LXU, same thing. I bought it right there at the 21, and I think I added to it when it broke out from here, the 25 area here. I think I added to it again. I think yesterday or Wednesday, but I'm basically right on the 21 on this. It's working fine. WFRD. Same thing here. I bought it right there when it came down to the 9. That's when I bought it. Right when it kind of came back inside, and then it retook this little shelf right here. I got in, and it's working fine. I'm taking 25% off of the 9. I'm taking the rest of the 21. This one up nicely on. This one about 6. This is 4.5% up on this one. ATI, I'm up about 6% on this. ATI is nice. I bought it right there. Same concept, guys. Same concept. It came to a 21. I saw that it kind of it held it. It kind of started going higher. I'm at 21 is my stop. It's an extremely low risk entry. And the next couple of days, it's just been booming. It was up 7% on Thursday. So this was working fine. If this comes back in to like the 25, 28, 50 range on a pullback retest, I might add to it. If it breaks the 30, 29 something, I might take 25% off, because again, it's extended. But I'm right in the 9, and I'm running at 21 to stop me out. I got one more, guys. BX. This one I bought it because I wanted to sell some covered calls, and this one pays a nice dividend. It's a 5% dividend. I was thinking of holding this a little bit longer term. It had earnings coming up, so I was trying. I saw this little uptrend on the weekly. So okay, what's my stop? Very logical. This little uptrend here. The same kind of concept here. My stop would be if it breaks down below here. It's kind of not doing much. It's below the 50. Not really an area I wanted to buy that I normally buy stock on. But again, I sold covered calls on this, so this is my cost base. It's down here somewhere on 105 or so. So I have a 1.5% trading stop. So not a big. I'm actually up on it. I'm up on it. I'm up 17% on this because I've been selling covered calls on it. So I've lowered my cost basis drastically. So I'm not gonna hold it too much longer because again, I don't want to hold it through earnings. Okay, so those are the ones that I've had. If you could tell, if you see the theme has been pretty consistent and it's been working. So stick to what works. Let me take a little sip of water. Okay, so that was the market, and that was the segment with everything that I have, the reasoning behind it, my thought process, and what I'm currently holding. So that's my portfolio right now. So now I'm going to go through all the stocks that I've went through, all my scans that I noted down, that I see setups on. It's going to be a lot of them, guys, so buckle up. All right, here we go. FMC 138.81. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can on this, okay? 130 right here. Take out this high right here. FMC 138.81. SQM 85.56. 85.56. And you'll be able to see in each one of them. If I go a little bit fast, you'll be able to see I have a trend alert on each one, a black one. That means it hasn't been triggered yet. Remember, the red one means it was already triggered. Okay, so that there's an older alert, inactive. The black ones are an active trade, an active trend line. That right there is active. It hasn't been triggered yet. So these are all alerts that I've set my. You know, that was a nice one right here. If you take it at 121, you got a 15-point move in about a month. That's not bad. So maybe we go to 150 from here. So again, every single one of them I have an alert on. If I get alerted, I'm going to take a look at it. If there's volume behind it, I might take it. Again, I have a lot of positions on, so I don't want to have like 30 stocks on. But again, these are all legitimate top industry groups, growth stocks, not growth stocks, growing companies that are performing at the moment, and obviously there it is. Okay, so MUR 43.23, 43.23, MUR. Oxy 62.11, 62.11. At any time, guys, pause the video, study the chart. I mean, make this an educational thing, not just like jotting down, mindless ticker symbols and prices and just like, going through it, without any thought process. Actually pause the video, study the chart, see why that's the entry, see what I'm doing, look at the chart, look at the patterns, start recognizing the theme, because the patterns are the same patterns over and over. We're just our job is to find them in leading stocks within leading industries that are growing, and the price action is it's going from lower left to upper right. That's it. Just that simple, guys. Don't make this complicated, okay? So make this a study session. Really go through this video and study every single chart that I go through, the ones that I have, and on all these that I'm giving you. Learn, grow, put the work in. It'll definitely pay off. Trust me. VIST VIST. 912. 912. Take out this nice little shelf right here. 912. VIST. CPG. CPG 791. 791. STLD 8976. 8976. GGB 643. 643. GGB. TX 5043. 5043. TX. I like this little shelf right here. Takes out 50. I like this one. SU 3411. 3411. SU. MTDR 5765. 5765. CDEV 957. 957. CDEV. EXR 21505. 21505. I like this one. Nice little cup here. Lower volume as it's tightening up. This is a nice setup. Look at this. This is a real good. This is a real good one. I'm going to jump on this one if it does it hit for sure. EXR. WY 4055. 4055. And then also here, you know, take out these little, I call this porcupine, kind of little porcupine kind of bars where it kind of it's pokey. Doesn't really do anything. I like it much tighter. See how it was tighter right here? See a little tighter, and then boom, it takes off. A little tighter, takes off. This is the kind of porcupine stuff. But again, there's enough porcupines here from back here that this can go to 50. Out, OUT, 2791. 2791. 50 to stop. Ping, PING, 3043. 3043. AAPL. That sounds familiar, right? If I could spell. Apple. 171.36. 171.36. Right here. This little area right here. It's been a price area that has meaning. So if it breaks back up again, crosses the 9, we can see 180 again. Again, don't anticipate a move. Wait to see the move. Okay? PDCE 7816. Sorry, PDCE 7816. Nice little shove right here. I like this. Nice little shove right here. DMLP 2633. 2633. FANG, FANG, 142.33. 142.33. This little action here, but if you notice, above the 50, trending higher. This is a nice channel. It's kind of. If you look at it, it's kind of porcupine-ish, but it's in the right move. It's going higher, right? So let's continue. If it breaks it, then we might hit 147, 150. Might come back down to this channel right here to 140, and then you get 150 and so forth. Okay. FING. EPM 718. 718. Beautiful 50 uptrend. LPI 88.33. 88.33. DEN 76.05. 50 and 200 right there converging. I like it. That's a clear stop area, right? Very low risk. DEN 76.05. CMRE 16.05. 16.05. ABC 164.35. ABC 164.35. I mean, look at this. Beautiful 90 MA. I mean, look at that. That's just gorgeous. Even the 21. I mean, come on. Let me clean this up. I gave you guys this one right here. ABC. I gave it to you guys, and then I gave it to you going here. This stuff works. Put the work in. BHP 78.46. 78.46. Rio RIO 83.05. 83.05. MP 52.16. 52.16. Right here, this little shelf right here. LAC 31.42. 31.42. Right to 50. IMKTA 95.85. 95.85. This is going to be a 100 play, guys. 100 play and play. BUN 11.16. Is it BUN? No, BVN. Yeah, BVN 11.16. Right here. 11.16. ENB 46.61. 46.61. LNG 143.05. 143.05. $21. If it takes it, then 21 is your stop. Dino 38.86. Right here. 38.86. Which also coincides right here, right? Notice that? SUN 43.76. 43.76. VTNR 903. Right here. Nice little shelf right here. I'm not going to wait this high right here because I like this little shelf actually. If it takes this out, then the 21 is your is your stop. Okay. VTNR 903. DDS 303.22. 303.22. This is nice action here. See, I had this kind of same thing as here. This little trend line here got alerted at 276, 277. You went to 300. You have a nice 20-point move on this stock. Okay, so if this breaks out to, from 303 and so forth, we could easily go to 315, 320. I don't see why not. And then you ride the 9 at 25%, and then you take the rest off with the 21. Okay. So again, it's a higher price stock, but it doesn't. That shouldn't. Okay, higher price stock should not scare you. You want to buy stocks that are high in price. You just buy less shares. So it's the same 5%, 10% position. If you want to buy a 50% position and your portfolio is going to be of 10 stocks, so that means each one is going to be a 10% position, and you want to buy a 5% position, well, you buy 5% position on a $300 stock. So simple math. So let's say you have a 100 grand portfolio, right? And a 100 grand portfolio, a 5% position is what? $5,000, right? So you divide 303, divide by 5,000. Sorry, the other way around. 5,000 divided by 303, that gives you 16 shares. So you can buy anywhere between 15 and 20 shares of this as a half position. And you might buy 25, 50 shares as a 100% position. Instead of having, you don't have to buy 100 shares, 120 shares. You just buy less shares. It's the same move. If the stock moves 10%, you're going to make 10%. Whether you own 1 share or 1,000, it's still a 10% move. Okay, so just think of percentages. Don't think of absolute values. EDS. ED is going to be 100 play. That's going to be 98.71. 98.71. And then any pullback to the 9, I'm adding to it, and just writing it all the way up. Okay, I mean, if you look at it, every pullback to the 9 here was buyable. Even this day, it broke below it, but then it closed way above it. So that's a good entry as well. ED. AXS. 58.16. 58.16. Take out this little shelf right here. Okay, it broke out. It's retracing right back to the 50. Right back to the 50. I like that. But now it's below the 21. So I want the 21 to be taken. Okay, and then this little area here to be taken. And then once, because we had resistance here and here, so these guys are coming to play. All right, so this is in play, and all this right here, it's in play. So I want this to be taken out because these guys right here, and it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so it came up here twice and it rejected it. Once it cleared it, it came back inside. So obviously this area has meaning. Okay, so we want that area to be taken out before we react. Okay, AIR 51.43. AIR 51.43. Take out this little cup right here. Again, if it comes back into the 9 and the 9 holds, that's a good entry as well. And then I have one more. Last one. FLR. FLR 30.81. 30.81. This nice little cup right here. If he takes it, we can see higher ground. This is a nice entry right here at 26 to 30. It's consolidating. A little tighter action. I like it. And then the 21 is your friend going up. Okay? So that was it, guys. A lot of stocks. Please, 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 I implore you. Study the charts. Go through every single one of them and look at the pattern. Because that's what you're going to keep seeing over and over and over again. Because why? Because it works. So again, leading stocks in leading industries that have been growing quarter over quarter in either sales or earnings, that have projected growth to be either accelerating or not, drastically going down, but there's growth, 64% growth, 141% growth in earnings. The pattern is from lower left to upper right, and there's a little pattern setting up. Okay, it's simple. Trading, it's very, very simple. It is not easy. You got to put a lot of work in, but it's not difficult. It's simple. It's simple. If you keep things simple, don't have 20 million indicators and MACD and RSI and stochastic and all that stuff. Just price action, volume, and some moving averages. That's all you need. Okay? All right, guys. Have a blessed rest of the weekend. Enjoy Easter Sunday, and let's get ready for the market on Monday. Study, put the work in. Please put the work in. It will pay off.